Hello, happy to see you! Recently I received a very fair and interesting question. Why do more than 90% of beginner traders fail? You say that trading is not difficult. In this video I'll answer that question. We will cover both the practical and psychological aspects of working with binary options. You'll see that trading is still simple, but only when traders don't ignore certain rules. Ready? Let's go! For some reason, a huge number of beginner traders think that at the start you only need to study technical analysis. They believe that this is 100% enough for profitable trading. It isn't. I'm telling you, this is a trader who lost more than a few $1,000s because of this. Let's compare trading to skydiving. How many books do you need to read to currently jump out of a plane, open the parachute on time, and land without breaking any bones? Even if you read 100 books and watch several hours of training videos, I bet 99% that you'll crash on your first jump. That's because you can't learn to jump properly without practice and jumps with an instructor. In trading, it works the same way. A trader studies technical analysis alongside practice. First on a demo account, then trading with very small amounts, and only after gaining experience moving on to larger trades. The second factor is psychology. If you only study the technical part of the market, you won't be able to trade properly. People get tired, angry, greedy, happy, and succumb to excitement, all of which significantly affects results. And to prevent emotions from influencing trading, you need a risk management system, but more on that later. For now, let's examine a very common technical mistake made by beginners, which I call one indicator, one strategy. This is when a trader believes that if we use a certain indicator, we can trade solely based on its signals and nothing else. But this won't work. A strategy is a structural topic. It consists of several components that support each other. One indicator will give accurate signals mixed with false ones. To avoid this, you need to combine it with other indicators or patterns. Let me show you an example and you'll understand immediately. On this chart there is a downtrend and here's a great resistance level. There is also a moving average that is below the price at this point. If you judge solely by the moving average, you should open a trade to go up here. But if you look at the RSI, you'll see it is in the overbought zone. What do you think? Which direction should you open the trade in this situation? One indicator says buy, the other signals sell. The simple solution is to open a sell option because the trend is our friend and it's pointing down at this moment. Besides, look at this level. The price bounced off it, and their buyers clearly won't have the strength to break it upwards. Add to this the overbought indicator RSI. Two signs of a fall against one side of a rise. I think the majority wins. In this situation, the best entry point for a sell would be from this level. Here it is, structural trading. Three factors coincide: RSI indicator, failing trend, and bounce from the level. The structural trading is called a strategy. One indicator is just an indicator that can give false signals. But when several signals align, the result of finding the best entry point will be much better. Want to see how all this works in action? Join my Telegram channel. There is only structured trading, a lot of educational content, and my signals, which you can use to test yourself in trading. Now let's move on to another problem that has ruined as many deposits as there are stars in the sky. It's greed or haste. Call it then you want, but the effect is always the same. If a trader rushes too much, they will definitely lose their money. What could happen if you drive on a busy highway at 150 miles per hour? If you do it for a long time, the car will crash and won't reach the end of the road. You need to maintain the average flow speed, and then everything will be fine. Then the person is in a hurry to make money on binary options. We enter trades too early, when the strategy hasn't yet shown a signal. A few such entries and the deposit is destroyed. The trader is disappointed and blames everyone around but not themselves. Remember, the signal from your strategy must be clear and fully formed, then everything will be fine. Ready to keep learning? Then like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episodes. The next reason why beginner traders lose their deposits: lack of knowledge. No, I'm not saying that if you're going into binary options you need to graduate from Harvard or become a PhD in economics. But this is a financial sphere connected to the currency market, analytics, and it has its own history. Sure, you can just look at the chart and click buttons without understanding what's happening behind it. But such trading will quickly become boring. When you understand why prices move, how a broker works, who the participants in the currency market are, when you follow the trading session schedule and know how to conduct technical or fundamental analysis of currency, you become a full-fledged trader, especially if you take into account everything I mentioned before. If you want to earn consistently and a lot from binary options, not just 1 or 2 times, increase your level of knowledge. Read books, study analysis methods, watch my videos, and follow the posts in my Telegram channel. There are enough educational materials to understand everything I'm talking about here. You can find the link in the description. It would be strange if I didn't talk about risks here. Imagine, in trading they can and should be controlled. Beginners have a very bad habit: taking high-risk strategies and trading with them until the market devours their deposit. Here's the statistics of one such trader. He traded using the martingale strategy. If he had done this for a short time, just to accelerate, everything would have ended well. But he thought that this strategy was suitable for constant trading, and one day all his money was just drained in a few trades. Just remember 3 simple rules. First, enter trades with an amount not more than 5% of your deposit. That is, if you have $500 in your account, take options for $25. If $1,000, then each entry should be no more than $50. This way you will divide your capital into many parts and reduce the risk of losing all your money from a few unsuccessful trades. Second, if you have 3 losing trades in a row, stop trading. You need to take a break, and in a couple of hours return and analyze the losing options. Understand what you did wrong. And third, test all your new strategies, first on a demo account, then with the smallest amounts per trade. Don't pour large sums into a new strategy immediately. What if it doesn't suit for you? And the last reason why most beginner traders start unsuccessfully: information overload. We live in an information age. It pours on us from everywhere: newspapers, books, the internet, television. We are almost unlimited in ways of searching and sources. But when you start trading or anything else, you encounter both useful and low-quality information. This is not only just useless but also harmful. This happens when you watch and read everything indiscriminately. You subscribe to hundreds of bloggers and channels, study a million strategies, choose dubious books and communities. To master trading, you need just one coach who understands it. Yes, at first you will study their trading style, but gradually you will develop your own. But you won't have a mess in your head. You'll get information in equal parts and immediately apply it, not accumulate it in your head and then forget it. By the way, you can try me as your coach. For this, subscribe to my Telegram channel and read what I post there. There will be trading signals, strategies, pattern analysis, and much more cool stuff for learning trading. In general, I don't recommend learning trading on your own. You don't learn to drive on your own or take up a serious profession on your own. For learning, you need to be in some community. Firstly, in a collective. It's much easier to assimilate new skills and knowledge. Secondly, a community and coach will give you support, which you don't have when learning on your own. Thirdly, in a community, there are always necessary materials, guides, instructions, and everything you need to become a good trader. And in general, when you see that you are not only one engaged in something, you get motivation and competitive spirit. So I look forward to seeing you in my community. If you're just starting out as a trader, make sure to take into account everything you've seen and heard in this video. I guarantee that in this case you'll master binary options trading much faster and your results will be much better than just copying strategies. Although I don't see anything wrong with copying either, it's better to understand that you're doing how the market works and follow an experienced trader while learning all this. That's all for today. I wish you successful learning, profitable trading, and always follow the trend. Bye!